Welcome to the Sunshine Podcast. This is yours truly, Dora Williams, and we are here with the men segment. Yes, we are here with the men segment. Men, we need your voice. Yes, we do. We need your voice in this day and hour. I need you to understand that your voice matters. Your voice is wanted and your voice is needed. As I stated at the beginning of the year, I am rooting for a lot of things this year in 2026. I am rooting for a lot of things, but in the top three things I'm rooting for, I am really rooting for the men. Yes, I am. I am rooting for the men. I don't care how anyone feels about it. I am rooting for the men. Come on, men, let's step forward. Come on, men, let's take charge. Come on, men, and let your voice be heard because your voice is needed. Your voice is wanted. Your voice is important. Oh, yes, it is. I want to encourage you at the beginning of this podcast that your voice is needed, your voice is wanted, your voice is important. It is. No more being silent. Come forth because there's someone waiting to hear your voice. Yes, they are. Someone is waiting to hear your voice. And today's podcast topic is going to be when a man becomes a message. Yes, when a man becomes a message. Yes, when a man. I don't want that to sink in for a minute. When a man becomes a message. This is something here we're stepping powerful into because we're not talking about just a man who has a voice or not just a man who uses his voice, but a man who is a voice. Yes, a man whose life becomes a message. A man whose character becomes communication. A man whose presence speaks even before his mouth opens. Yes, when a man becomes a message. I want you to know one thing first and foremost, men. Your life speaks louder than your lips. Your life speaks louder than your lips. Before a man ever says a word, his life preaches. His consistency speaks. His character speaks. His discipline speaks. His love speaks. His work ethic speaks. His decision speaks. His habit speaks. His spiritual posture speaks. And the truth is, people hear your values before they hear your voice. People feel your presence before they feel your words. Yeah. A man becomes a message when his life and voice says the same thing. This is why we need your voice. Your life is saying one thing, but we don't have that. We don't have the verbal part of it. We need that to coincide and come together. Because I just said a man becomes a message when his life and his voice says the same thing. And in order for that to say the same thing, we need to hear your voice. Not just see your lifestyle, but we need to hear your voice. Second thing I want to point out on today is the weight of a man's example. Every man is a standard setter, whether he intends to be or not. His example becomes someone's blueprint. His example becomes something someone can build upon. they can pattern their life after. Men, somebody is watching. A son, a daughter, a partner, a younger man, a coworker, a community, a generation. So the question is not on today, is your life speaking? The question is, what is it saying? I want you to think about that for a minute. What is your life saying? What is your life saying? Because a man's voice becomes powerful when it aligns with his character. A man who says, I love you, but never shows it, his voice loses weight. A man who says, I'll be there, but never appears, his voice loses trust. A man who lives what he speaks, his voice gains authority. So you see how your life and your voice coincide with one another. We can't, you can't say one thing and not your life not line up with it. And your life can't expose one thing, but then your voice doesn't expose anything. It goes hand in hand. It goes together. So live what you speak, men, so that your voice gains authority. Next, I want to talk about the 3 dimensions of a man's message. A man communicates in 3 profound ways. Number 1, his words, meaning what he says. Number 2, his actions, meaning what he does. Number 3, his presence, meaning who he becomes. His words, his actions, and his presence. And the strongest message is when all 3 agree. Yeah. When you say something, you act upon it and you show up. When a man's words reflect truth, when his actions reflect integrity, and when his presence reflects stability, that man becomes a walking message of strength, healing, and purpose. And I declare that is what we need in this hour. A man that becomes a walking message of strength, healing, and purpose. Yes. When a man's silence speaks, not all silence is withdrawal. Sometimes silence is wisdom. Sometimes silence is discernment. Sometimes silence is strength. There's a silence that communicates. I'm thinking. I refuse to argue. I won't lower my standards. I'm choosing peace. I'm praying before I respond. A mature man's silence is never empty. It is full of intention. It's full of intention. A man's silence can speak stability just as much as his voice can. Yeah. But I want to encourage you with this next side topic. Becoming the message heaven intended. Men, we need you to become that message heaven intended. Because when heaven created you, it didn't just give you a voice. It gave you a message. Yes, it did. It gave you a message. There is a reason your life carries certain passions, certain burdens, certain strengths, certain experiences, certain scars, certain testimonies. Nothing about you is random. Nothing about you is random. Nothing about you is random. Your message is shaped by your journey. You are the message of resilience, restoration, responsibility, courage, healing, faith, leadership, breakthrough, and legacy. Never forget that your life is a sermon. Your presence is ministry, and your voice carries assignment. The transformation of a man's voice. Your voice it transforms so much. It's why it's just so needed. And this time, it's so needed in your children's life. It's so needed in your marriage. It's needed in your workplace. It's needed in the home, the church, the community. A man becomes a message when his pain turns into wisdom. He no longer speaks of old wounds, but from healed insight. His struggles turn into strength. He becomes a mentor, a guide, a pillar. His failures turn into testimony. He stops hiding and starts teaching. His private victories become public influence. He gains authority because he first won battles in silence. His faith gives his voice power. A man anchored in God does not speak from fear. He speaks from revelation. We need some transformative voices from you men to come forth. We need it to come forth. We need that wisdom. We need that strength. We need those testimonies and those public influences, and we need the faith that gives your voice power. We need all that to come forth, men. No longer speak from old wounds, but speak from healed insight so that some other man can become healed. No longer struggle in the old. Become a mentor, a guide, and a pillar. Stop hiding and start teaching. Gain authority because of the battles that you won in silence. If you won it, then talk about those victories so that someone else may hear. And gain that authority. Gain that authority and step forth as never before, because men, we need your voice. Understand today that your life is speaking in more ways than you know, in more ways than you think, in more ways than you can believe, in more ways than you can ever imagine. Your life is speaking. Someone is watching. Make it count. Make it count. Make it count. To every man listening, you are more than the words coming out of your mouth. You are more than the words coming out of your mouth. You are a message written by God. You are a sound that carries destiny. You are a walking demonstration of strength and grace. You got to believe this on today. I encourage you to let your life say, I'm growing, I'm learning, I'm present, I'm healing, I'm responsible, I'm chosen, and I'm becoming who God designed me to be. When a man becomes a message, he doesn't just influence moments. He influences generations. Men, we need you to become an influence for this generation, because this generation is in trouble. Our older men are dying out as never before, and I need you, and you. Yes, you. You that are listening on this podcast this morning. You that are listening on this podcast this afternoon. You, yes, you. I need you to really walk into who God has designed for you to be. I really need you to walk in the growth that you have became. I really need you to walk in what life has taught you, your learning experiences. I need you to really walk in healing and not stay stuck in your wounded place. I need you to really understand that you are chosen for this. You are called for this. I really need you, men, to just not be an influence in the moment. I need you to influence, be an influence for this generation, because your voice is needed, your voice is wanted, and your voice is important.